Hello, everyone. Matt Clark, research analyst for Money and Markets, here with your weekly marijuana market update. Let's really just dive right into today's update. I found a question here from the Two Cheeseheads. Can't really make that up. I love the screen name on our YouTube channel. They said, love what you're doing. Can you please do a face-off comparison of Cresco and Curaleaf? Would love to hear your thoughts, pros, cons for either company. Thanks much. First off, I'm glad you like the videos that we're putting out for you, and I really do appreciate the feedback. Second, I'm more than happy to do the comparison for you. I'll start with a little bit of background on both companies. Before I do, remember, I talked about Cresco in a previous marijuana market update. You can find that on our YouTube channel. And that update was just talking about the company specific, not really making any comparisons or anything like that. So this will be a little bit different. Curaleaf Holdings Incorporated trades over the counter under the ticker symbol CURLF. That's CURLF, is a Massachusetts-based cannabis producer and retailer. However, it also helps smaller cannabis companies with processing, real estate leasing, and back office administration. It also it offers oils for vaping, cartridges, tinctures, mints, capsules, edibles, and CBD products. According to its website, it has 95 dispensaries, 22 cultivation sites, and 30 processing plants across 23 states. Now, Cresco Labs Incorporated, which also trades over the counter, its ticker symbol is CRLBF. Together with its subsidiaries, it cultivates, manufactures, and sells medical cannabis and medical cannabis products in the United States. It's a Chicago-based company, and it offers cannabis in flowers like concentrates, liquid live resins under the Cresco and Reserve brands, soft gels, tinctures, lotions under the Remedy brand, gummies, fruit chews, hard sweets, and chocolates under the Mindy's brand, and vape pens, popcorn, shakes, pre-rolls, and shorties under its High Supply brand. In all, it's got about 350 products, so it sells in more than 700 dispensaries across the country. It operates 18 of its own dispensaries in Illinois, Pennsylvania, Ohio, California, Nevada, Arizona, Massachusetts, and New York. Cresco has a market cap of about $1.5 billion, making it a pretty good-sized, large multi-state cannabis operator in the U.S. Curaleaf, however, on the other hand, has a market cap of about $6.2 billion, which means that Curaleaf is massive compared to Cresco. So keep that in mind when we're talking about comparing these companies, because that does make a difference if we're talking about a company that is a little bit much larger than another one. The trailing 12-month revenue data for each company is also a little different. Curaleaf has trailing 12-month revenue of about $351.3 million, whereas Cresco's trailing 12-month revenue is around $231.2 million. And their stock charts are actually pretty similar. Take a look at Curaleaf, for example. After hitting a low of about $2.64 a share back in March of 2020, Curaleaf moved more than about 250% higher to around $9.43. It pulled back to just under $7 a share in September and October, but it's gone right back up and is very close to reaching that $9.43 mark from August. In its most recent quarterly report, it reported a 22% increase in total revenue quarter over quarter, a 29% increase in gross profit from cannabis sales quarter over quarter, and a net income per share of 0. It's the first time the company actually did not report a loss per share. That's impressive. Remember, earnings per share are a little tricky. But in the realm of cannabis, if it's 0, that's actually not a bad thing, considering how cannabis companies traditionally report net losses each quarter. And then you have Cresco. If you take a look at their stock chart, Cresco shares hit a high around the same time as Curaleaf. It was a 192% increase in share price coming off March 2020 lows. Cresco dropped just like Curaleaf, and like Curaleaf, Cresco stock has rebounded nicely. In its most recent quarterly report, Cresco recorded revenue of $66.4 million. That's a 60% increase over the previous quarter, and a 144% year-over-year increase in same-store sales from a year ago, and a 40% growth in its brand sales in California. The company will report its next quarter earnings on November 18th. While these are different companies, their share price trajectory is pretty similar, and both seem to have fairly good growth plans for the future. For Cresco, they plan to expand in markets where sales justify the expansion, and these states specifically are Illinois and Pennsylvania. They also want to make their largest market, California, much more profitable, which makes a lot of sense. The plan is a little fuzzy in terms of how they plan on doing that, but it could include expanding into different markets of the state or maximizing profits from products that they already offer. When I talked about Cresco in August, I thought it could break through the $7 per share threshold, and it did. I still think it can reach its 52-week high of $9.64 per share, but I think it's going to be a while before it gets there. Now, for Curaleaf, in terms of expansion, the company's already started expansion into a very strong market, and that is Illinois. Illinois has become a very big cannabis market this year since they enacted legalization on January 1st. Curaleaf is also expanding its medical cannabis business in Florida, and this is a state that is also seeing rapid growth in the market, especially on the medical side. Recreational use is not yet legal in Florida. Now, both these companies do have plans for future growth that don't include some over-the-top expansion into an unforeseen market. They're not planning on trying to tap into new things. They may have some new product offerings and things like that, but by and large, both companies seem to be trying to focus on their strengths while trying to counterbalance their weaknesses. And that's encouraging. You don't really want to see cannabis companies, especially with an uncertain landscape as we're in the United States, to try to go, to try to run at the wall 90 miles an hour and see what happens. Simply because a lot of times in this climate, that's just not going to work. I really like both these companies, and I don't think really you could go wrong with either of them or both of them in your cannabis portfolio. Price really isn't a mitigating factor here. They're both priced about the same, and their share price growth prospects are also about the same. Just keep in mind, Curaleaf is a much bigger cannabis company than Cresco, and their gains may not be as big, but they could be better sustained. That's about all for me this week on this marijuana market update. I'd like to say again, I love the feedback that we're getting on our YouTube channel and through email. If you do have a comment or question or a stock you'd like me to look at, you can just leave a comment below on our YouTube channel or hit us up on email, feedback@moneyandmarkets.com. I read that email every day. And I also check our YouTube comments just about every day. I try to respond to most, but I can't really get to all of them. So I do certainly try, but I do appreciate all the feedback that I'm getting. If you think I'm wrong, that's fine too. I've had some people on YouTube say, you're wrong. Totally fine. Not a big deal. If I were right 100% of the time, I'd play the lottery. So, don't forget to email me. Let me know why you're interested in cannabis stocks. I'd love to read what you have to say about that. And make sure if maybe you're watching this for the first time or you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you look for us, look for our podcast or our week ahead or our marijuana market update. You can find all those on the Money and Markets YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube, type in Money and Markets. We'll have a green bull, the bear logo. You'll see it right there. Make sure you click on that and subscribe. There's a red button down below here. You can subscribe. If you do that for the first time, you'll see a little notification bell that pops up. Just click that and you can get notified every time we release a new video, no matter what it is. Whether it's our week ahead, our Bull and Bear podcast, our marijuana market update, or any of the other new videos that my team and I are starting to work on for the future. We usually post our videos about a day or so before we put them on moneyandmarkets.com. So if you are subscribed and you are wanting notifications, you can get them about a day earlier than anyone else, and it may help you make a decision on what you want to do with your portfolio if you hear information that you're looking for. Coming up this week, we'll have much more on our Bull and Bear podcast and our Money and Markets week ahead. I also encourage you to go to moneyandmarkets.com every day. We post safe and profitable investment information for you every single day. You'll find my cannabis watch list on there as well. Our watch list is performing very well. We've had I added a recent company on there, the first of around the middle of October, and it was up double digits the last I checked in just a 2-week time. So very encouraged by that. Plus, you'll be able to see all sorts of things. Our green zone rating system, and perhaps you have a stock you'd like to look at, you can go check it out put in the ticker symbol in our green zone rating so you can find out just exactly where we stand on it and get all the information on that stock that you would need to make an investment decision. That's about all for me. I do appreciate the time and look forward to coming out again with our next marijuana market update. Until then, I'm Matt Clark, research analyst for Money and Markets, as well as your host of the Bull and Bear podcast. Safe trading, everybody.